Okay, this is an idea for a task assistant AI. And so, with the task assistant AI, what it does is it watches you perform a task and it makes sure that you perform the task correctly. And if you're missing anything, or if you did anything wrong, or if you didn't do anything, it reminds you of what you need to do. So, you train an AI on a bunch of tasks, on specific tasks, even. You can even train an AI on robot tasks. You can have a robot or a factory or something going through a number of tasks. And just like you'd have a security guard watching over the robots, or you'd have a security guard or a technician watching over the robots and the factory, you'd have an AI watch over the factory or the robots. And you'd make sure that the AI would make sure that the robots perform the tasks correctly and that the factory perform the tasks correctly. And with a person who has this as an assistant, let's say they're doing something like cooking or they're doing their own painting or something like that. And what this enables the AI to do is kind of act like that manager in the sky, like a micromanager in the sky that helps basically do another job, basically do your job. When you're doing robots and stuff, and you're watching over robots and stuff, you have the job to make sure the robots do it correctly. Now you can get the AI to make sure that the robots do it correctly. So what I was thinking is like with a automatic lab, with something like a medical or a blood work lab. Like a lot of the labs are medical labs, right? So blood work lab, how would you make this so as soon as you took the sample, you'd plug it into the automatic lab, and the lab would shuffle the units through the tests or to the appropriate testing station, run the test, and have the test later that day, or within minutes, or within even seconds, possibly. If you're, depends how automatic this. Depends how the test is done. Depends how the test is done and how fast you can do the test, really. And what about at each stage of the shuffling process, you had an AI look over to make sure that the sample was shuffled according properly, that the sample was tested properly, that the test worked properly, that this is a good test that we're looking at here, and we can get a good reading from this test automatically. So we can get the reading from the test automatically, and then if we need to go back with the person, we go back with the person later, right? So this also works with when you're trying to automate tasks, when you have a bunch of people doing a whole bunch of jobs and they have a whole bunch of tasks, you have a task assistant that starts to assist you with these tasks, and you can start getting these tasks done automatically. Perhaps this will also help you get these tasks done automatically, and as well as you can grade your employees to make sure your employees are doing their job correctly by grading your employees and making sure that they're performing the tasks correctly, that they're not forgetting stuff, and you can even rate performance if they're supposed to bend at the knees or something like that. You can measure to see if they're bending at the knees or not, if they're bending at the waist, and give them a warning and stuff like that. And I know that's pretty bad. This is like this is like an evil manager tool, because it's like doing the manager's job, but it's micromanaging the manager's job, so it can actually function properly and perform properly. So this is the idea for an AI task assistant as a big tool into the automatic world.